Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Thanks.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
My man, Nick Walker, the champ, is going for champ status. How you feeling, sir?
What's good, Caveman? I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm always good, man. You know, coming too late. We're trying to get you and Ryan Moss on. We couldn't get Ryan on tonight, but we got you one half of the main event for K-4 coming up this Saturday in Rochester. I can't wait to see you guys fight. How about you?
This Saturday live, baby. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good matchup. Or shout out to Keith Ferret for putting this one together again, or rather Eric Gillette, whoever was in charge of the matchmaking. All I know is they're both putting on a good show. Me and Ryan are gonna hoping to put on a good show for the people on Saturday night. That's all I can say about that.
That's awesome, man. How is it? You're fighting at home again, man. Does it feel so good to fight close to home?
It feels really good because it's like the first time that was my first time fighting at home, so it was like, okay, let's navigate this a little bit. But now it's like, now that I've done it, now it feels not routine yet, but it feels it's not new. So I feel a little more comfortable. You know what I mean?
We got to really set up the pre-fight at Livy's this time, so we can have like a watch party. Like, come on out and support Nick Walker's family. You know,
he's a Jamaican restaurant. I mean, they've been supporting me for however long, so we gotta support them back.
If I can get Ray to leave a little bit early, we're gonna go out to Livy's this time because we didn't last time, but this time we got some time, so we should be able to do it.
Are you guys gonna be at the weigh-ins or not? You're just coming for the show?
I'm just coming for the show, man. I got too much stuff going on. I got to run the gym. I got all kinds of things going on with the gym too. You know how it goes.
Understandable.
New Brandon for the kids class. You know, Honey Badgers, come check us out.
Honey Badgers. Oh, you guys got bread over there?
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Shout out to bro.
Yeah. So, man, you have a lot of championships, and you're all over in the weight classes. How does it feel to keep bouncing from weight class to weight class?
Well, the only reason I did it was, I mean, you can really blame other fighters for it. You know what I mean? Don't blame me. I just said, find me whoever wants to fight, and I will make the weight. And as long as they're the best guy available, I will continue to fight them. And that's really where it came from. You know, I started off fighting at 155, and I was like, you would understand a little bit of the history of kind of what happened back. I think Kate had some ideas on how to make an inaugural 155 champ, and they just didn't come to fruition. They didn't fall through. They just didn't come to fruition. And with that, I was like, well, I don't want to be wrapped up in one division. I want to start making my way in, like I said, whoever wants to fight. I didn't want it to be, oh, he's only ever fought at 55. And I was like, well, I will fight anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Right. Now you're fighting a guy, Ryan Moss, who is coming up in weight to fight you at 160. He just got off a loss to Gabe Vega, but in that loss, man, he was fighting one arm for 4 of those 5 rounds. So what did you think about his last performance, and what do you think going into this fight about the matchup?
Well, about his last performance, you gotta you don't chalk it up to the arm thing, but he was fighting a big puncher in Gabe Vega, you know, rightful dude has been killed in MMA. Obviously, he won that championship bout very convincingly. Great sweeps, great pressure and stuff, and great kicks. But Ryan, while dealing with what he dealt with, while dealing with that adversity, he was still able to start mounting his own attacks, look for pockets to where he could be dangerous and such. So he's not someone to be underestimated by any means. And even in a 5-round title loss, it's like, being in a title fight is still something to, like, a lot of people can barely even make it through a 3-round fight. You know what I mean? Whether it be trying not to get finished, or it's a knockback fight. Like, he still hung in there like tough the entire fight. You know what I mean? He's not going to go away easy.
I couldn't imagine fighting 4 rounds like that. I didn't notice it right away in the second, but going into the third, I noticed it right off the bat. And he wasn't throwing his right hand; that's his power hand. He also had. He told me after the fight he had a little bit of trouble making the weight 55 too. Like, he hadn't fought in a little bit,
Or
And
the
coming out
weight
at
was 45 because I
45, yeah,
think
45. He had a
I
hard
think
time
he
making
used
that
to
weight.
fight probably closer to like 55, probably 60.
Yeah,
You know, like
right.
now he's fighting at like in that weight class that's much more suited to him. So you know, I'm technically expecting what this is 15 pounds higher, so I'm expecting someone completely healthy. You know what I mean? Not weight drained, like good cardio. I'm expecting a hard fight. You know what I mean?
I'm very much expecting a much more equipped fighter. I don't think he's going to get hurt as easy too. When you cut that much weight, it's so easy to get injured. It's different. People don't understand how much you take out of your body to make a lower weight class, and then fighting through that is very difficult. I don't mean to keep giving props to your opponent. I know you're a
No, no, no.
very
That's I
special
mean
guy
he's
too,
part
but
of he's the reason I get to fight is the fact that I have an opponent that's willing. I mean, like same as you said, like it's rough. People that don't cut like the best way I can describe it to people that don't compete or don't compete in combat sports or fight or anything, whether you like and I don't just mean fighting like boxing, jujitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. Like there's a difference between losing weight and cutting weight. So it's like a lot of people they just don't understand it. So it's like as much as we can explain like the math and like how it really like works, they just see the number that they wish that they could attain or get, wish their numbers would move around however fast. But there's a lot that goes into it and it takes a lot out of you. Like I said, it's one of the reasons that I didn't want to keep making 55 for fights that weren't happening. So I was like, Coach, I got to move up. I can't be cutting weight for a fight and it's dropping all the time. I got to, at some point, look after my own health.
what do you naturally walk around at when you're not like cutting weight for a fight?
Honestly, I kind of tailor it to the weight class that I'm planning on competing in, like however far out notice I get. But I try not to get like the best main thing for me is I just don't get to like an unhealthy like big like most people like if you were to think cutting 40 pounds to lightweight is like excessive, like I don't seek to do anything like that, you know what I mean? So I try to stay within a reasonable bounds of whatever I'm trying to fight at.
I like that you never like give a real honest answer about your weight. I keep asking every podcast. We've done like 6 or 7 of them now, and every time you're like, I just walk around close to my weight.
Well, I mean, because it's hard. Because I mean, it's not hard to stay in shape, but it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to cut weight, and like depending on how people do their camps, whether they're always in a calorie deficit or like you can mess yourself up doing this stuff. You know what I mean? So you got to at some point, people got to find something that fits them, whether it's you're cutting progressive weight throughout the entire camp, or if like you're staving it off till the end. Like everyone's different.
So I gotta jump into the teams themselves. So he runs his own place like Blaze Muay Thai, and you're a member of Team Empire. Do you think that gives you advantage being like having a whole team behind you, or do you think he's coming in a little bit of advantage because he gets to, like tailor his own workouts however he wants to?
Well, I think there's definitely a certain advantage to like tailoring how you want to, because you can go off of like what you feel you need is best for whatever time. But at the same time, I think there's a big benefit to like structure. Not necessarily saying like, oh, going into discipline or motivation, but or doing things like not necessarily when you want to, but being able to get through things at non-optimal times is definitely like a helpful skill. You know what I mean? So that's just me countering like, oh, if he can do anything like when he wants, it's like that can also be a detriment. Some people like, what if you, with all the time in the world, you don't do anything? You know what I mean?
I
So,
think
but then also him being a coach, like obviously he's got to be credentialed. He's got to know what he's doing to be able to get people to part with their money and keep coming back to his gym and to keep the doors open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's almost more pressure on him than there is on you because he has to like he's like representing his own school and his own
Hmm.
conditioning and like he doesn't have Magic Rodney in the corner getting his conditioning worked up, like it's all on his own and he showed a really good I think he had a really good outing against Gabe, to be honest with you. Like I really think fighting with one hand it was so honorable to me. Like I
A
just
lot of
can't tell
people
you.
will say, "Oh, I beat this guy with one hand tied behind my back." Well, could you actually do that? Could you actually go out there and fight somebody with one arm? Like, I don't think a lot of people would even risk it.
I might have just stepped out of that fight and be like, I can't go on, coach. Like throwing a
Yeah,
towel in between rounds, like that's a very difficult task because Gabe wants to knock you silly. He wants to knock you loose from consciousness, you know?
And that's one credit I'll give. I know we're talking about Ryan, but I'll give Vega credit because, like I said, he's gotten better. Because almost not like it's crazy that 2 years ago, me and Vega fought at 155, and now and like on that same night, he had fought for the 45 title, 10 pounds lower, and I had fought for the 65 pound title, 10 pounds higher, and now I'm fighting like his another similar opponent between us, which is gonna be like I said, it's a small world, this combat sports one, so it's nice and fun. But in
Yeah.
terms of Ryan, I think what didn't you put in your story or not in your story in the write up that he used to train at Empire?
Maybe last time he did a really long time ago, and not the last write up, but the previous one before that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
long
started
time
his journey
ago.
there a long time ago.
Hey, and that's another thing. You could say, however experienced I am, like this guy's like what? When I fought Victor, Victor was like twice as experienced as me. Now I'm fighting a guy that's 3 times, almost 4 times as experienced as me. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
think his
mean?
first
Like
fight was 2012, dude. Like that's a long time ago. It's like
it's
13 years
just
ago.
like it's a super long like, and some people would think like this dude's not old. You know what I mean? Like I don't know his actual age, but being experienced in this game, like the longer you've been in it and the more you know, and like the longer you can stay healthy and stuff, the more knowledge you can accrue. So that's why I'm like I can like I said, I'm not sleeping on him at all. Like I'm staying ready for whatever skills, whatever tricks he might have. He might have old notes. He might try to go. He might think that he knows what my coaches think of how to beat him or something. You know what I mean? I gotta be prepared for everything.
He's got to be prepared for your body shots. You go to the body like nobody else on K-4. Like no matter who you're fighting, you find a body. You found it with Vic. You found it with Gabe. You found it with everybody. You always find a way to get to the body. What? Why are you so able to get to people's bodies? I don't think I've seen another fighter like you.
It shouldn't be exclusive to me, man. Like I don't know, like everybody wants the big headshots and stuff, but I don't know if you like. I've just watched a lot of good fighters. Like on my way up when I was starting out, when I wanted to learn, I would just, and it's not even specifically body punchers or body kickers. Like I just watched a lot of great fighters and how they break people down, and a lot, like I said, a lot of people just neglect the body. It's like one of the bigger targets. Like I don't know, and then a lot of people's defense ain't even or isn't even good enough to defend themselves from said attack. And I don't know if you can't defend it. Like if you know it's coming, and that's another thing. If you know something is coming and you still like either don't put in the effort to defend it, and you really don't get much sympathy from me because it's like you knew.
I that's why I think you're so good because everybody knows coming into the fight how good your body shots are, and you still hit them. And not only do you hit them when they're like breathing out, so they're non-flex. You do a very good job of hurting them to the body. A lot of people
Thank
hit to the
you.
body, but you hurt people to the body. It's different. Like you have a very innate skill to have the timing to hit them just at the right time.
Hey, well, one thing I'll say is shout out all my coaches. Shout out Coach Chris. Shout out Coach Wally. Shout out Coach Rodney. Shout out Coach Chris Muir. Heck, even shout out the assistant coaches at the gym. Shout out Malik. Shout out Liam. Shout out Declan. Everybody who steps up when coaches have something to take care of. You know what I mean? All these guys they help. We help raise each other's fight IQ. We help correct each other if we see that we're making a mistake or if you're getting caught with something in sparring, like say if you're trying something new and whether it's working, whether it's working or not, the guys that you're trying it on, they might actually tell you like, hey, I see this is what you're trying to do, but maybe if you do this instead, or hey, I was catching you when you were trying this, and like we really do help to like not constantly make the same mistakes, not make the same pitfalls, try to like really raise each other up so that it's not so that we can in turn like just positive feedback, like you know what I mean?
In the last couple fights, you guys have been rolling like 6, 7 guys deep on your team. This time you're going in. There's not so many guys on the card. Do you feel a little? Is it a little bit different not having so many guys fighting on the same card as you this time, or how do you feel going into it?
Well, I will say that I'm probably not the guy to ask because when I fought co-main against Brett Malone, I was the one Empire guy on the card, and I had to wait through like 16, almost 17 fights. I was dang near asleep in the back, and but and so man, when you've been through that, having anyone in your team, even any amount, any personality of your teammates on the card, it's just a cool experience. I'm like, hey, I just get to You know, whether we're gonna talk in the back, have a conversation, chill out for a bit, like deal with, because we most of the time we don't usually know the fight order until like either the day before or something, day of. So we just all help get each other warmed up and stuff, whether we're hitting pads, holding pads or something, and then it's just nice and fun. Go right out there, put on a show, and then like we said, because the last time we fought in Rochester with like 9 of us, it was like just go 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 go, and we're all like just running back cheering every seat, getting all the medals and stuff. It was a lit night.
Yeah, generally, in Rochester, you guys are like all over the card. So I was just wondering how it feels like. I'm surprised more of you guys didn't get on this card.
That
Hopefully we get.
is up to any potential opposition because I can guarantee and bet my life on the fact that God, if there are fight cards happening, there are members at Empire training to fight, got in shape to fight. For whatever reasons they don't get matched, that is beyond any of our control. You gotta ask the opponents, you gotta ask the coaches why they don't think why they're not signing up to fight us, why they don't think their guy is ready or something. Hey, because it wasn't just the two of us who can't. I can tell you a lot of other people that were
Oh,
trying to get on this card, you know what I mean? And whether
I agree
fights were happening,
100%, man.
whether other people didn't want to, whether people were signing up for fights and then coming back the next day saying, "Hey, that fight I signed up for, I can't make weight," and then next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, instead of fighting my teammate, I'm just gonna fight on a completely different fight card a week or so later," and I'm just like, "All right, dude. We see you didn't really want to fight, so I mean, like, why even bother stressing us out, you know?" So, eh, more power
I
to them.
I love that you guys aren't scared to fight anybody. You're really willing to put on the line all the time. And I think your record speaks for itself and your conditioning speaks for itself because you're always challenging yourselves. A lot of people are looking for easy fights and you guys aren't. That's one of the reasons why like you and K-4 are so like you're like bang tight because we want to have all the best fights. We want to have good matchups. And
Hmm.
Keith does a pretty good job making competitive matchups, I think.
Hey, because these belts matter. I don't know if you how good you can see it, but this Art of Combat belt, this K-4 belt, that's earned, not given. That matters because, like you said, I had with this game. To me, I didn't want to have a laundry list of, oh, I fought 50 to 100 people and like you didn't care who any one of them was. I wanted people that were gonna put on good fights with me, test me. Like if anything, I want to fight people that on paper are better than me because if they beat me, then cool, I know what I can work on. But if I beat them and I prove to myself I was better than them on that night, then I'm like, okay, we're working with something here. We've got some good momentum, and like each time, and that should make you a more dangerous fighter. The mental side of fighting, like a lot of these guys, I don't know if they're just mental small people or if they're like they just want to they don't really want to be pushed or they don't want to risk going over the edge. They don't want to risk too much too soon. But it's like this game is all risk. So it's why not take the risk? Like if you're gonna I'm gonna train just as hard for like I don't know, like having an easy fight and thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna train hard for it. Like you should want to train hard for a fight. And as difficult as you train, you should be rewarded for a equally as difficult fight.
I'm gonna say that um, I when I did a write up, I wrote the who you've beaten, and every one of them is a who's who of K-4. You know, they're all like have had a lot of success in the K-4 cage, and you know, and
Hmm.
other cages and other promotions as well.
And
Um,
no one knew I was gonna beat him when we fought. No one knew. They were all
I'm gonna
really
say something
most
that
of them
probably
were 50-50 matchups where I was like the slight underdog because I was less experienced in most all of my fights.
I'm gonna say that I had you as an underdog in a lot of those fights, and like I doubted you a few times, you know, coming up, and then like I wrote in
Hmm.
the last fight, I was like, man, how can you doubt this guy? He keeps proving himself, you know. Like I don't know how he's gonna win, but I have a feeling he's probably gonna win, you know, because like on paper I thought you were the underdog, but you know when you're actually in the cage, you're not really the underdog to anybody, and
And that's the other thing. Yeah, I bring it in the cage. I don't know, man, because a lot of these guys, they or a lot of people that make it to the top of the fight game, they were like pampered or brought up the right way. You know what I mean? To where someone carried their career or such, or they kind of, oh, we're gonna fight this guy that makes sure he gets the right perfect experience. It's like I didn't come up with that. I didn't get. I don't have the blessing of hey, we're gonna make sure you fight this guy that's just perfect for you at this time. Like, no, I didn't start combat sports with lucky enough with people looking out for me like that. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, if with when I was ready to compete in my head, you had to be ready to jump in the deep end of sharks that were already swimming. So and if you're not ready to swim with these sharks, you are going to get eaten. And that's just been my attitude with this the whole time. Like I don't fighting is fun. I love it. I trust me. But this isn't a game that you can like just play. And that like I do take it serious, you know what I mean? Because it's like for as much as the highlights that I try to make, I don't want to be I'm sure no one wants to be on the receiving end of it. Yeah, it's the game, but yeah, I'm sure no one like wants to lose. And if you ask any fighter if they train for a fight and they wanted to go out there and lose, they would most certainly tell you no, or they didn't even want to be there at all.
Yeah, there's no reason that people would ever even fight if they thought they were going to lose. I would imagine. I hope so, at least. You know,
Hmm.
but sometimes that's a false confidence too. You never really know what what people are thinking and what the reality is. I have to say, this
Hmm.
is the first time I have you going in as a favorite on paper, so
Hmm.
I can't wait to see how this one turns out. I think you're going to be a little bit bigger, and I feel like you're going to get to his body, and I feel like you're a little bit better in the clinch. It's hard to tell
And
because he fought in the clinch and he did a pretty decent job against Gabe one-handed, but
yeah,
I it's so hard to tell how where he was at because for most of that fight he was one-handed. But I really do think that you're a slight favorite going into this one on paper, and I can't wait to watch this fight. I think you guys are the main event, even though there's a pro tie fight on this card.
yeah. I'm thinking we're gonna be main event because it's but Crosswell and Patterson, right?
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be a sick fight, man. I can't wait to
Yeah,
see that one too.
hey, respect to all fighters. This is not insulting them, dude. If either one of y'all hear this, do not like. You will see me backstage. I will not be afraid to like just say my piece. But we're not gonna fight just because we're not even the same weight class. But I will say that you gotta have me and Ryan as main event, being two Rochester guys versus respectfully a guy from Canada and a guy from Buffalo. That's just like a factual thing, you know what I mean? Or rather, not factual because it's not fact. It's Keith's decision, Eric's decision. But I gotta say, you gotta put the you got to cap the night off with one of the more exciting fights on paper, going for what would be something, in my opinion, something historic for K-4 and Art of Combat, your first three division champion in any sports discipline. And that like because we had Sean Doyle, he was the first guy to get two belts in two weight classes. And I wanted to be a dual sport champion and like multiple weight class champion. I was supposed to be Kwame, get that 70K one belt. That didn't happen, not because of me. And like
Yeah,
all the like I had another K1 fight at 160 scheduled, didn't happen,
man,
not
you
because of
and
me.
Q, that fight was
And,
still got to happen, man. I love to see you guys fight. Like you have
and
the
that's the
perfect
thing,
style to
man.
fight each
Like
other.
I've just been I've just been wanting to reach the heights that I've seen like great fighters reach. Like I whether or not I can actually reach them, I just like going on the journey and preparing myself to do those things. Like that's what it's so rewarding. Like if anybody that is trained for a fight, whether you win, lose, or draw, going out there getting that experience, it's there's nothing like it. And from being able to prove to myself time and time again, like you said, from the people that I beat, because I also I don't know if people would consider me the same fighter if I didn't fight those specific people. Like I said, like not even because they weren't specific for any skill set. They were specific because people thought they were good. Why I want to fight anyone is because if anybody thinks you're good or anybody thinks you can beat me, I want to go. Not that I care to prove them wrong, but I want to prove myself right and like I can beat that guy. I know I can.
I'm so excited to see this fight. I think the co-main is going to be off the chain. It's like the perfect setup for you guys to come out and fight. Um, I think they're going to get the crowd jazzed up because man, Crosswell and Patterson, that's a great fight, dude.
That's
And
was if y'all don't know, you know, like shout out Keith and shout out Eric. Because like I said, each one of these fights on the card, like even the debutante guys, like you like the gyms that they're coming out of, they're everyone seems to be relatively skilled. So it shouldn't be any boring fights on the card. Everyone's gonna like it's gonna be ample support for every athlete on the card. With it being right here at home, like you're gonna be plenty of Rochester guys, Ryan, the Rochester guy, me, my teammate Corinthians from Henrietta as well, Rochester guy. So it's like it's gonna be a good card. It's gonna be tons of energy in the room. And hey, but if y'all were there at the last one in February, I you were the I'm still like conceptualizing when I landed that head kick on Vic, that room just like I could still see like a new video and just be like go back to the energy of that room, and it's just like it was so insane.
That room was lit. That was like it was so loud and so popular in there, so popping in there. Like I can't. I like the smaller venue like that because when it is full, it is so loud and people are so
Hmm.
close to the cage. It sounds so good on the mics too when they broadcast that.
Dude, it was like out like of the fights that I've had, my fight with Victor is like probably my favorite and my most difficult, just because it's like he's in looking back, it's crazy. Like I said, first time fight at home, first title fight someone with twice as much experience as me. And it's like, bro, you should have been able to cut that tension in the air with a knife. Like, and we just went out there and swung and friggin' banged, kick, punch, clinch, elbow. Like it was a literal war. And you could like the crowd, they were on their feet like the entire fight. Like there was like watching that back, there was not a single strike where people were like quiet because it's like I said, main event, fever pitch, everybody like all the stakes, all the chips on the board, all the stakes at risk.
Amazing. So to get tickets to this, you can just click on the link that I'm posting right now. So the link is in
Yes,
the
sir.
comments here. You can click on that link, and then when you click on that link, make sure you put in Nick Walker as your athlete, so then he gets credit for the tickets. I believe you can still give Nick Walker credit for the tickets up until, is it Friday at noon or Thursday at noon?
Yep. Online ticket credit sales, or yeah, online sales tickets. I am messing up my words because all this metal around me is messing up my mental vibration. No, but
Yeah,
yeah,
look at that. The chat
tickets.
chat.
Got man, listen, this is alright. Got Victor right here, got eyes all right here. Earned that 60 is 70 is 65. But yeah, online tickets, the sales and the credits, they end Friday before the weigh-ins. So if you're looking to go to the show live, definitely get those tickets before then because I'll be honest, it's gonna sound bad, but K-4 and Art of Combat are known to sell out like at the door. So don't wait. Get those tickets online before secure your spot, secure your seat, because you don't want to be hearing the action going on, try like and then thinking, yeah, I'm gonna just get to the door and I'll have a ticket, and then there are no tickets. Like,
Just
because then at that point you're gonna have wasted gas, pay for the live stream, and watch in the parking lot.
just so you guys know, this is not the Buffalo show, so there's not as many seats as there is at Riverworks. It's a lot smaller venue, so make sure that you guys get your tickets early and get them as soon as you can, so the fighters get credit for it because that's the only money they make is off their ticket sales. So you make sure that you give Nick Walker credit for the ticket sales, or if you're a Ryan Moss fan and you're watching this, make sure that you give Ryan Moss the credit for the ticket sales as well. Like both these
Or
guys are
support
working
any
hard.
athlete. If you don't like me, if you think I'm too gaudy with these belts that I earned around my shoulders, go support somebody else. Go support like I'm telling you, support me so that we can get a third one to this collection. Because hey, I've been trying to promote this fight, man. I've been posting to social media a lot, been making fight highlights, edits. The posters are sick as always. Shout out Josh Reinhardt. Shout out everybody who's helped. Shout out all the sponsors. For one, shout out my sponsors. Livy's Jamaican Restaurant. Shout out Valid Girl Styling, Fashion and Glam, Kane, my girlfriend, my wonderful girlfriend. Shout out Ace of Fades, Aaron, my barber, he's gonna have me right for Saturday. Shout out Caveman's Corner for sponsoring the fight of the night bonuses that I'm
Let's
always
go.
that I'm racking up because hey man,
Make
I
me a
know
poor
those
man,
ain't
man.
I know
Make me
those ain't
poor.
cheap, but I'm trying to earn a knockout bonus this time. And
Let's go.
shout out who else? Shout out Empire. Shout out all the coaching staff. Shout out Rodney. Shout out Coach Chris, Wally. Everybody's holding pass. Shout out all my teammates. Everybody that sparred with me. Everybody that even sent good energy, even if I didn't spar you, even if even if you were in the same class together, just the fact that you train at the gym, supporting the coaches, it helps, and everything means the world. The community means the world to me. Shout out my friends. Shout out my family. Shout out literally everybody that has helped me throughout the years from the kid that literally thought, hey, that fighting stuff seems kind of cool. Maybe I'll give it a try. So look at us now. We actually got some belts, got some hard work, got some titles, and the momentum is building, man.
All right, so don't miss it, guys. October 4th, it's going to be at the RITN and Conference Center. They're going to have Muay Thai. They're going to have kickboxing. We got pro fights. We may have K4 history in the making if we get a triple champ. Very,
Triple
very
fit.
possible.
I'm trying to. What is it? I only got 2 hands. I'm trying to. I might need 3 hands.
You're gonna have to have guys carry your belts down from now on if you win this one.
I'm gonna
You know,
have to.
like the
I'm gonna be
famous
like those
boxers.
iconic boxers. I'm trying to be
Yeah,
like Terrence Crawford, 3-time undisputed.
you're
three
gonna have to
time,
have.
three
You
time,
gotta get
three
more
time.
guys, man. You need a bigger crew. You need a bigger crew to carry your belts.
I'm a belt for every coach, belt for Libby's, belt for the house, belt for the gym. Hey
Yeah,
man,
keep them
bro,
coming,
let me
man.
not speak too soon because, like I said, I'm not underestimating Ryan. I'm not overestimating myself. I trained hard. I enjoyed the process. I will always give everything I can to the fight game because you got to pay. You either pay it in this game or the game will make you pay. And I ain't trying to pay nothing back to it just yet.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the interview. Good luck on Friday. Good luck with the weight. I know you don't need good luck in the fight, so just good luck making weight. Good luck to your opponent makes weight, and then we're on the road for history. History in the making.
Yes, sir.
October 4th.
Yes.
We are
Appreciate you,
out.
K man.
Appreciate you. Always.